Hi, good morning. This is the class on how to fill out an as-is contract. First, let's go to our MLS, which we're using Matrix, and let's search for a property. Go to residential search, single family. Let's put 500,000 to 700,000. Let's just put area 40 and single family. Results. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and pick this property here. All right. And let's say that we're going to make an offer on this property. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into Form Simplicity, which can be found at the Florida Association of Realtors website, which is far.org. Now, if you're a member of the real estate board and you have access to the MLS, you should also have access to the Florida Association of Realtors website, where you can get all the forms on the program called Form Simplicity. Okay, you get your member sign in and your password, and you sign in. Okay, go to Form Simplicity. Go to Library. Find a form. Put contract. Okay, what we're going to be looking for is the as-is residential contract. Here it is right here by the Florida Realtors and the Florida Bar. Just click on that. Okay, now we have the as-is residential contract. I'm going to start filling it out. Now we're going to go back to the property. Okay, and we're going to and it's going to pull up the owner's information. So we see that the owner is Markowitz Barry G. Take his name, copy, go back to the as-is contract, put that information right in here. Okay, the buyer's name, put my name, Leonardo Aguilar. Okay, the address. Put that in here. County is Miami-Dade. Folio number. Go back to the property detail. Here's the folio number. I'm going to copy that. Legal description. Now we're going to come down here. It says right in here that all included in the purchase is the built-in appliances, built-in furnishings, attached carpeting, flooring, also the ranges, refrigerator, dishwasher, disposal, lights, fixtures, anything else you want to add, any other personal property that's included in the purchase, you would add it here. If there's anything excluded from the purchase, you would add it here. Purchase price is what we're going to offer. So we saw that they were asking 700,000. We'll offer 650,000. Let's put $10,000. Accompanies this offer. You could also put here is to be made in, if you leave it in blank, 3 days from the effective date. So once they sign, then you would give the deposit. Escrow agent, let's put my company, Green Street Realty. Email. Additional deposit, you can put it if you want after 10 days. Maybe you want to give another deposit after the inspection. Let's put here $5,000. Financing. Since this is over, the fee limit and it could be considered a jumbo loan, let's put down that I'm going to be financing 80%. Okay. Other, you put 0. This is how $15,000 that I gave as a deposit. Okay. Here we're gonna put time limit on how long they have before they sign the contract. Let's give them a couple days. We'll give them till Monday. Okay. And we're gonna close the contract in 30 days. So let's put May 5th. Well, it falls on a Sunday, so let's put May 6th, which is Monday. Okay. I suggest this happens. So let's go ahead and save it. Put new transaction. And we'll put Louis Aguilar. Usually I put the name of the buyer. And we'll continue filling this out. Suggest you go ahead and read the contract. I would read it like 6 or 7 times. Be very familiar with the contract. So if you're asked a question by the buyer, you automatically know on what page that information is on. Signability, most of the time we put that it may not be assigned. Because if you do put that it is, that you may assign it, the person could sell the contract to somebody that maybe not even qualified to purchase. Okay, this contract is contingent upon financing. Okay, conventional. You can leave this blank if you want. Fixed rate. It'll default to whatever is blank here. Buyer will make the mortgage loan application if you left blank within 5 days. Assumption of existing mortgage, most of the time, 100% of the time we don't do that. Purchase money note, that's if the seller is going to hold the mortgage. Most of the time we don't do that. Title, evidence, and insurance, you could leave this all. It defaults to whatever is in blank. Now here we check most of the time the buyer shall designate the closing agent and pay for the owner's title policy. Now if it's like in Broward or West Palm Beach, most of the times they want you that the seller picks the title agent. If they pick the title agent, they will be paying for the title insurance policy. So all depending on what county you're closing in. Right now we're in Miami-Dade. Most of the time we check this. You can check that one as buyers shall select closing agent, or you can select this one, Miami-Dade, Broward region. I usually always check the other one. Home warranty, if there is a warranty, you would click on, seller shall pay for a home warranty plan issued by NA. It's not a home warranty. If it's a townhouse or a condominium or a homeowners association, there may be special assessments. Okay. I usually put that the seller shall pay the assessments in full prior to closing. Okay, now sometimes there's an assessment that could be for 20 years, and included in the sale, the agreement is that the buyer will take over the payments of the assessment. Then you would check A, seller shall pay installments due prior to closing, and buyer shall pay installments due after closing. Installments prepaid or due for the year of closing shall be prorated. Okay? But most of the time, we want the seller to pay all assessments prior to closing. These are all disclosures: rate on gas, permits disclosure, mold, flood zone, energy. Lead-based paint. If the property was built prior to 1978, you need to put a lead-based paint addendum. Also, if there's a homeowners association, you would have to put an addendum. And I'll show you on the next pages where you check those addendums. Property inspections. We usually, 15 days is a long time for inspections. Seller may not accept that. We usually put 10. They may change it to 7 or 5. Go ahead and save, just in case. Okay, now we come to the page here where all the addendums that you would be attaching. So if, let's say there's a homeowners association where this house is located. The house is built before 1978. We need a lead-based paint addendum. Okay, if you were doing FHA financing or anything like that, if you want an appraisal contingency, that the property is contingent upon appraisal, even though you're getting financing, if the house doesn't appraise, they're not going to give you financing. You'll be able to get your deposit back if you don't qualify. But some people like to include that appraisal contingency in there. So these are all the different, if the property's on the beach, okay, it's right on the water, you'd like to put that on there. If it was built between 2001 and 2007, you might want to include the defective drywall, which they call the Chinese drywall, also in there. Additional terms, you can write whatever you want in here. If you want to charge the buyer a transaction fee, or maybe you want to write something special that the seller and the buyer are going to agree upon. If not, you can just put NA. Okay, here for compensation, the cooperating sales associate would be the one that's representing the buyer. So let's say that I'm the agent. And our company is Green Street Realty, which is the broker. Okay, let's see how much commission that we're paying, and also the information for the listing agent. Let's go back to the listing brochure. Okay, let's go down. Okay, the listing agent is Wesley Ulloa from Lux Properties, and they're offering 3% commission. So Wesley Ulloa. And I know Wesley, I worked on a deal with her a few years back. And I like to put here 3% of purchase price. If it allows me to fit that in there. Go ahead and you can leave hers in blank because we don't know how much she's making. She has a listing agreement. So what's listed on the MLS is 3 forms of buyer's agency. The buyer's agent, the transaction broker, and the non-representative. At no time is the listing agent's commission shown here. Okay? So that's the end of the contract. Let's go ahead and save it. And then come here to active. These are your transactions, your active transactions. Come here to the one that says Louis Aguilar. Okay. And select here. let's say that we want to add the addendums. Okay, we're going to put add forms to transactions. If you do it this way, instead of picking the forms individually, it'll automatically fill it in for you. So let's go ahead and put lead-based paint we needed. So it's always the ones that are CR5. Okay, those are the ones that are included with this contract. So let's go ahead and add this one. You can check it out, or you can see. Make sure that that's the form that you want. You can see that it's already filled in with the address, buyer and seller. Okay, this is the form that we need. So let's go ahead and save that. Let's go back to active again. Okay, you can see the homeowners association one. Okay, remember it's the CR5. Okay, this one says homeowners and flood insurance. We're just going for this one. The house is in a homeowners community. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's just add it to the transaction. Okay, now we have our contract with our two addendums. So let's go ahead and select all three. And you go here to select command. You can either print it, email it, fax it, okay, download it. What I do is I email it. And I'll tell you why. And I email it to myself. I'll show you the email. Okay, you can see that I received it here. Let's go ahead and open it. Okay, you can see that it's right here. You could forward this email to your client, or you could always open up the email, store it to your Google Drive, and send your client a or your laptop. An as-is contract.